Hi all, myself T. Tlaraj, working as assistant professor in Department of Computer Applications, Bungu Arts and Science College, Zero, Tamil Nadu, India. I'm very happy to meeting all of you. So first of all, I'd like to thank I2OR, it's International Institute of Organized Research, India, for organizing this seventh international conference on interdisciplinary research for sustainable development. So I'm really thank all of you to invite me as a keynote speaker, and really this has been a good opportunity for me. So thank you. So I'd like to discuss the topic in quality education, poverty, and gender inequality. So first of all, the poverty is the big problem we all know. After the COVID issue, we are facing a lot of issues in the poverty area. So many people are suffering in a poverty. We all know very well. So how it affects education, we will see. So first of all, I like to see what is poverty. Poverty is a state of not having enough material possessions or income for a person's basic needs. So poverty can have a diverse social, economic, and political causes and effects. A good person is not getting education due to a lack of money and therefore remains unemployed. So this is happening because of the poverty. The quality education is not received for many people, and they are going to be unemployed. So we can say that the poverty is the root cause for all for other problems. A person who is not able to maintain his health condition will lose the energy required for a job, and he becomes jobless. This is also happening. The jobless person always remains poor. Yeah. The poverty is the most is the worst form of violence, said by Mahatma Gandhi. So, so the main measures for evaluating poverty in statistics or economics, absolute poverty measure compare income against the amount needed to meet the basic person needs such as food, clothing, and the shelter. So how poverty affect education? So families living in poverty often have to choose between sending their children to school or providing other basic needs. Even if families that do not have to pay tuition fees, school comes with the added cost of uniforms, books and supplies, and or exam fees. These are also. So why does the poverty stop girls from the going to school? So this is another issue. So even though while comparing with the boys, most of the girls are affected uh, to get into the school. So poverty is the most important factor that determines whether or not a girl can access education according to the World Bank. If the families cannot afford the cost of school, they are more likely to send boys than girls. Around 15 million girls will never get the chance to attend school compared to the 10 million boys. This is ratio. So, countries across sub-Saharan Africa, where the world's poorest children live, have made a concerted effort to abolish school fees. While the ratio of the students completing lower secondary school increased in the region from 23% in 1990 to 42% in 2014. Enrollment is low compared to the 75% of global ratio. The school remains are too expensive for the poorest families. Some children are forced to stay at home doing chores or need to work. In other places, especially in prisons and the conflict areas with the destroyed infrastructure and limited resources, unaffordable private schools are sometimes the only option. There is no option for getting a good quality education. So what they are, what type of they are having school environment they are using. So that's the utmost the quality of education will be not. meant proper to this that particular student. So education as a solution for poverty. Education is a basic human right that opens doors for people to lead a healthy lives and contribute to their communities to end extreme poverty by 2030. So this is our mission. It's going. Yeah, increasing access to the education can equalize communities, improve the overall health and longevity of the society, and help save the planet. The problem is that about 58 million children and youth are out of school around the world, according to the UNESCO data released in 2018. So children do not attend school for many reasons, but they all stem from the poverty. The basic reason is poverty. So from the here, the many reasons occurs to the family and the health issues. So a lot of things are happening. So from the poverty, if we reduce the poverty, this will be almost reduced. Next thing is the gender inequality. So this is also we want to focus on this also. So whether we are and men and women are treated equally is a big question. Yeah. So gender inequality is a more prevalent in low-income countries. So women often perform more unpaid work, have fewer assets, are exposed to gender-based violence, and are more likely to be forced into early marriage, all limiting their ability to fully participate in the society and benefit from the economic growth. So analyzers show women are concentrated in traditionally female and lower paying CTE programs in both secondary and post-secondary education settings. Further, the more women are still underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and math STEAM programs. Although the STEAM fields are some of the most in demand and lucrative, uh, women are less likely than men to pursue their college education in these fields. So, and even less likely to pursue the graduate degree in STEAM. The gender stereotypes and bias in education and the potentially hostile climate of the academic departments continue to deter women from these lucrative career opportunities. So these are the areas which the women are not getting to. Still, they are suffering. They are not having the good opportunity to get into all these areas, STEAM areas. Yeah. So globally, 38% of all murders of women are committed by their intimate partners. United Nations Population Fund estimates that at 5,000 women globally are murdered by the family members each year in so-called honor killings. So the killings of women accused of sorcery, witchcraft, is reported as a significant phenomenon in the countries in Africa, Asia, and the Pacific Islands. For example, in Papua New Guinea, the cases of torture and murder of an estimated 500 women accused of practicing sorcery and witchcraft have been reported. This is an incident we all know. So dowry-related murders continue to be widespread practice in some South Asian countries. For example, statistics for the period of 2007 to 2009 show that there have been between more than 8,000 reported cases of dowry deaths in South Asian countries. Yeah, female infanticide remains a critical concern in a number of countries today. In recent decades, sex ratio imbalance in favor of boy children have grown in number of Asian countries, and there in a broad agreement concerning the problem of gender bias sex selection. Yeah. Forced child marriage in the life changing reality for many of the world's girls. Some of young as 8 to 9 are forced to trade their childhood for the life that can be defined by isolation, violence, and illness. It is a practice rooted more in tradition than religious custom, and one that spans the global from the Asia to Africa to the Americas. Number of girls who are married as a children is astounding. According to the UNICEF, UNI, in 2007, more than and, 660 million girls aged 20 to 24 worldwide had married before their 18th birthday. So if current trends continues, in an addition 100 million girls or 25,000 to 30,000 girls every day will become a child break over the next decade. While boys are subjected to early marriage, most child marriage involve girls. For instance, in Mali, the ratio of girls ages 15 to 19 who were married as a children compared to the boys is 70 to 1, and in EI level, it is a 6 to 1 ratio. Yeah. Work of Archer, the Archer's work attaches great importance to addressing impunity of for gender-related killings. This is aimed in Latin America region. Archer has assisted the development of relevant legal frameworks and supported efforts to strengthen investigations and judicial responses. So we have to teach our boys the rules of equality and respect so that as they grow up, the gender equality becomes a natural way of life. And we have to teach our girls that they can reach as a high humanly possible. This must we want to do from today. So we are many of them trying, but still we are having the problem. This problem. Yeah. To support countries in their efforts to fulfill and live up to their promise that by 2030 they will have closed the gender gap. The UNESCO Institute of Statistics (UIS) is this aggregating all sexual related indicators to the highest possible extent. They use UIS is additionally producing indices for the gender parity and is in the process of developing new indicator for enhanced reflecting inclusion and equity of boys and girls. For UNESCO, gender equality really is a priority all across the world. Gender equality is an extremely linked to UNESCO's efforts for the promotion of educational rights and supporting all the activities to the achieve and organize sustainable development goals. The organization SD4 via the 2030 education framework for action is aiming to ensure the equitable and inclusive education of the quality and to promote lifelong educational opportunity for all. UNESCO's SDG 5 aims to empower all the girls and women and achieve the gender equality, the quality education. So, from while reducing poverty and uh, making a gender equality, uh, now we can easily improve the quality of education. So, this is also one of the biggest issues. So, one of the most dominant ideas under the umbrella concept of education impact on the crime is the belief that their reduction in crime can most often be achieved by increasing crime prevention, and that the most effective form of crime prevention is achieved through education. It is the biggest factor to reduce the crime. If if we give the proper education, definitely we can reduce the crime. That's we know. So most people would argue that the education can be an important element in preventing individuals from engaging in the criminal behavior. Focus on social, emotional, mental, physical, and cognitive development of each student, regardless of gender, race, and ethnicity, socio-economic status, or geographic location. The United Nations, for the first time, included quality education in a sustainable development goals. We all we all are aware of how technology changing the face of education. The COVID situation, we know very well. Through the technology, we are solved almost uh, many problems. So almost we gave an online classes and we gave somewhat Google tools. So many of the tools, online materials we are supplied, and many of the things we had done through the online mode. So because thanks to the technology. So not only as mode of receiving education changed by the methods of teaching students have also evolved. Earlier education was more of an monologue, but nowadays teachers encourage the students to maintain a two-way flow of information in classrooms. That's been we missed almost through the online mode. So in 2020, the COVID-19 hit the world, and education was one of the most important factors that were adversely affected. The majority of countries announced the temporary closure of schools, impacting more than 91% of the students in the world. The UNESCO has created the following aims: help countries mobilize resources and implement new and context appropriate solutions to offer remote education by leveraging high tech and low tech and no tech methods. Seek equitable solutions and universal access. Make sure that there are coordinated responses that avoid overlapping efforts. Facilitate that the return of students to the school when they reopen to avoid an increase in dropout rates. So statistics around the quality education. Before the pandemic, the projections showed that more than 200 million students would be out of the school, and only 60% of young people will reach upper secondary education in 2030. More than half of the students that have not enrolled in the school live in sub-Saharan Africa. The 617 million youth worldwide lack basic mathematics and literary skills. In and 10 low and middle income countries, children are with disabilities are 19% less likely to achieve minimum proficiency for reading. Yeah. So target set for the 2030 by UN. By 2030, ensure that there is a free primary and secondary education for girls and boys for effective learning outcomes. Ensure equal access to be affordable and quality technical, vocational and tertiary education. Increase the number of people, both youth and adults, who have relevant skills for employment, jobs and entrepreneurship. Want to increase that. So eliminate all the discrimination in education. Ensure universal literacy and numeracy, ensure education for sustainable development and global citizenship, ensure building and upgrading inclusive and safe schools, expand higher education scholarships for developing countries, increase the supply of qualified teachers in developing countries. If the quality of teachers being being used, being implemented in education, definitely the quality automatically increases in the system. So education is a key to escape poverty and enabling upward socioeconomic mobility. Education aids in the reduction of inequalities and the attainment of gender equality, as well as the promotion of tolerance and a more peaceful and the gender equal society. We know there are the people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. We know that. So many of they are not having enough food, and if the food is given to them, that it maybe it's like the God said by Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah, we wanted to look out the poverty, and we want to come for a gender equality. The revolution is not an apple to fall that fall when it is a when it ripe, you have to make it in fall, as Che Guevara he told. So we want to make a revolution to make an inequality, reduce the inequality and make an equality on gender. That's been one that being the girl child will be get a proper education. That is a big change if it is happen. Next thing is the quality of education of our past president, former president that Abdul Kalam told, I will keep the lamp of knowledge burning to achieve the vision of developed India. Not only developed India, he already told been developed the world. So and once the education quality improved, entire world will be get into the new view. So, finally, I like to tell that poverty and gender are often a case of intertwined inequality. The gender inequality in the economy has the cost of world about $70 trillion since 1990, reports the Economic Times of India. The report also states that full gender equality can globally increase the world GDP by $28 trillion by 2025. And the only cure to the gender inequality is education. Not only it is impossible to achieve gender equality without education. So, but expanding education opportunities been more important. Opportunity can help stimulate the productivity and thereby also reduce the economic vulnerability of the poor household. So that's all I think. So we want to move in this area. Yes. Thank you so much for giving a wonderful opportunity once again, and thank you all. Thank you so much. All the best.